Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Jaya Vishnupad Paramahansa Vibrajigacharya Ashtadhara Shata Sri Srimad Srila Bhakti Srila Abhay Charana Ravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON BBT founder Acharya His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jaya Vishnupad Paramahansa Vibrajigacharya Ashtadhara Shata Sri Srimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's most auspicious appearance day ki jai. Anantagari Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय। श्री वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय। श्री मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। इस्कॉन मूवमेंट की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत भक्ति शास्त्री पार्टिसिपेंट्स की जय। निताय गौर ब्रह्मानंदे हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा। I like to welcome all of you. Please accept my humble obeisances, and also please pray for me and bless me. Vancha kalpatarubhasya.
Vancha kalpatarubhasya. Bandhuva eva chapati.
Pranam
pavani. Vaishnavi namo namaha.
Anantagari Vaishnavin ki
jai.
Yes.
I would like to mention that those who could not read yesterday, I would like their name. I need, how many was there? 20, 29. 9 devotees who did not read yesterday. I want their name, please, voluntarily, please say it. Gautam Prabhu, 1.
And Prabhuji Hare Krishna, and my wife Dipti.
And
Hare Krishna,
Mother
Brihadnath.
Dipti.
Brihadnath Das.
Brihadnath Das.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Lakshay.
Lakshay.
Leela Govindas.
Yes,
Leela Govindas.
Prabhu Palika Pavani.
Palika Pavani Devidasi.
Prabhuji Saujanya Mataji. Yesterday when you called on me, I stepped away for a few seconds. I missed
Saujanya.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Jai Radha Devi Dasi.
Jai Radha Devi Dasi. How many we got so far? We need 2 more.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
No, those I would like to give the opportunity if you don't mind. I'm sorry, Mata. Just
That's okay.
bear with me. Pray for me.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Instead of reading, Mother, you can just pray for me. That will be good for both of us.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Subhashini
Yes.
Padma Devidasi.
Subhashini Padma Devidasi. And
Purva Devidas. Purva Shakti Devidas.
Purva Shakti Devidasi. Okay, we got Subhashini Padma. What was the last? Mataji, who was after Subhashini?
Apurva Shakti Devidas.
Apurva Shakti. Okay, we got 9, yes? Okay. Please fold your hand and invoke the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and all the Guru Parampara. Srila Prabhupada said, when you pay obeisances to lotus feet of our Guru, we do not pay obeisances only to Guru. Srila Prabhupada said these obeisances, it goes all the way to 1 by 1 to Radha Krishna, because they are our head. Krishna Hoite Chaturmukha. The Parampara song says this, that from Krishna comes Brahmaji, then down. So remember that when we pray, that you are actually offering flower or paying obeisances to all the Guru Parampara. Can we all practice for 1 minute while you do the Mangalacharan? Please, just mentally prepare, collect all the good fragrant flower. Unfortunately, in America, we don't get too many anymore fragrant flower unless we grow ourselves. Some or other, the Mother Earth is not so happy giving fragrant flower because definitely too much meat eating still going on. Hopefully, something will change their heart and they don't do it. So please fold your hand and say, Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
नारायणं नमस्कृतं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्ति भवति नैष्टकी। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदिनतारिणम् Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Paramananda Madhavam. Now please pick up the flower and offer the flower as we pray one by one. First you offer to your Guru. So we begin with that. Bande Om Ajnana Timirandasya Ghenanjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Andeham Me Guru Sapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathannitam Tam Sajivam Sataitam Sabadhutam Parijam Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanitamscha. That verse is composed by Swarup Damodar Goswami Maharaj, so you can offer a flower to Swarup Damodar Goswami who is helping us. We are just assisted by him. And then we are going to offer flower to Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur one by one, because today is the appearance day of His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So we'll first offer obeisances and offer flower to our Prabhupada, ISKCON founder Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunnavadi Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Sri Vasavanavi Devi Hitaya Kripadaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namah Madhuja Ujjala Premaga Sri Rupanuga Bhaktida Sri Gaura Karuna Sakti Vigrahaya Namastute Namaste Gauravani Sri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddha Apasiddhanta Dhantaharine Ama Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Viragamurtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padambojayate Namam Ama Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Sakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Parayate Gaura Virbhavo Bhumestam Nitesta Sajjana Priyo Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Sri Jagannathayate Namah. Now you can offer flower to all the Zoom participants also, each other, because they are also Vaishnava and Vaishnavis. Pancha kalpa taru vescha vacham aditanam pavani bho Vaishnave bho namo namam. Jaya. Now we are going to offer obeisances to Madan Mohan deity and then Radha Govinda Dev and then Radha Gopinath. So begin with Jayata, sorry, first we are going to do Panchatattva and then Namo Mahabhadanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Nama Panchatatmatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktaksham Namami Bhakta Saktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Jayatam Sarata Pangur Mama Mandamate Gati Atsarvasa Padambojo Radha Madana Mohana Dipad Brindaranna Kalpadrumada Srimad Ratnagara Sinhasanasta Shri Radha Shila Govinda Devo Prestali Bhisepamanusmarami Srimanarasa Rasarambi Vamsi Bhata Tatastita Arsana Binu Saneri Gopi Gopinatha Siyastunam Apta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe
Vrindavaneshwari Vrashapanu
Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Devi Krishna Mai Prakta Radhika Paradevata Sarva Lakshmi Mai Sarva Kanti Sammohini Param Vrindaye Tulsi Devaye Priyaye Ketasya Namaste Prade Devi Sattavate Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Binda. And you can offer the flower to Mahamantra. Mahamantra is also a form of Krishna. It's a very sweet form. It's actually more important than Radha Krishna. Even though it is the name of Radha Krishna, but it's more secret. That's why we don't chant Radha Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Radha Radha. We chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So it's more significant. We'll discuss one day. Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Krishna Pinda ki jai. Thank you. If you have a leftover flower in your meditation, you can offer it back to Prabhupada, all. If there is any flower left. This is a serious meditation. If you do that meditation, you can burn down all your karma, any impression you have left over. 12th chapter Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says this. Svehi genam abhasat genat dhenam vishishyate. When you apply intelligence in your practice, why you chant, you have to know this answer. If you don't know the 10 offenses, you cannot get out of the offenses. Prabhupada said just like this. So we have to memorize the 10 offenses in order to get out. If I don't know what's the enemy, how are you going to conquer the enemy? You have to identify the enemy, and then you can kill the enemy. So similarly, what are the obstacles we have to know, then we can remove them. If we are not aware what is the obstacle, what are the challenges in Bhakti path, then how we are going to remove it? If you are not a good gardener, if the Bhakti Lata is growing and the agacha means the unnecessary weeds are also growing. And if we don't know what is Bhakti Lata and what is anarthas, then how are we going to remove anarthas? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says you have to become a good Mali. Mali hoiya means you have to become a good gardener. You have to know in your heart how to remove things and something you feel not good, but it could be the very good things in the heart. That's why there is a book written, Monoshiksha by Raghunath Das Goswami, Madhurya Kadambini by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Prabhupada sing all this, Bhaja Hure Mana Srinanda. Why mind? So many songs about mind. Because you have to talk to your mind every day. In teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Prabhupada said, every day you talk to your mind and get favor of mind. But don't listen to the mind. You have to tell the mind through intelligence what you want. And mind will carry on. And once mind become your friend, you have the best life. So that's hope. Today we're going to begin 9th chapter. 9th chapter title is The Most Confidential Knowledge or yoga of hidden treasure, or Rajaguya yoga. And we have finished first day 1 to 3, where Kevala Bhakti or pure Bhakti was demonstrated, the glory, the knowledge about Krishna that will lead to pure devotional service. What was the second section? If you all, just to refresh where we are before we start. 4 to 10, we discuss about Krishna's Achinta relationship, inconceivable relationship with the, where? With who?
Material world.
Material nature. Material nature, very good. Material nature, Prakriti. Because we have to develop love to Krishna in the, we have to love Krishna in the material world, with the material world, through the material world, as I mentioned that. Then we learned 11 to 19 yesterday. We discussed about different various worshipper of Lord Krishna. Whether it's a Mayavadi or impersonalist, Brahmavadi, doesn't matter. Krishna includes everybody as a worshipper. And actually it's true, they all worship. Krishna is liberal, very liberal kind of God. No definition of Krishna, God as good as Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita generally we think is an identity of Krishna or God. Bhagavatam is a personality of God. Chaitanya Charitamrita is the Leela of God. What God does, go read Chaitanya Charitamrita. Well, what kind of personality preference God has? Read Bhagavatam. Who is God? How do you ascertain God? Bhagavad Gita. So these are gradual progression, but it is very significant. Before you fall in love, you must know the person's nature, character, liking, disliking. And if you want to fall in love with someone, you want to know what are the liking, you don't have to know so much because both will like it, okay. But if you don't, if you like something and the other person don't like and you want to be in love with that person, you better pay attention. Krishna says, Bhoktanam Jagatapasam Sarvaloka Maheswaram. Suridam Sarva Bhutanam Gyattamam Santim Prichati. You want peace? You better offer everything. Never eat without offering. Krishna says, and if you don't, you are not considering me as an enjoyer. Because when I asked this professor, I said, you want to be in peace. You are not in peace. He said, I am in peace. I said, no, you have a problem with the creator, designer, the most intelligent person called God. He said, I don't have a problem with God. I said, do you offer food every day to God? He said, why should I? I earn money myself. I said, that's the problem. You think that is yours. So try to understand from a different angle how everybody is actually not aligned with what Krishna wants. Krishna does not want anybody to eat without offering him. He's not going to starve you or make you die. Rather, you will be more happy if you offer it to him first, because he is in your side. You are aligned with him. So this is the key point we learn. So in 11 to 19, we talked about 2 sloka about impersonalist. They do mistake of taking Krishna as a material, just like one of us. Of course, Brajavasi also think Krishna is one of the family member, but they have a love for him. That is the difference. Then 13, 14, we discussed about us, that we are devotee. And there is a 3 gradation. Ramshem Prabhu and different devotee mentioned that they liked it. What was the 3 gradation? Top class was Mahatma. Below them was 4 types that approach God due to their Sukriti. And then below them was 3 types. Ekatyena, Prithakatyena, Bahuda, Vishwata Mukham, 15. Then we discuss 16 to 19, the different universal Upasana. or worshipping of different form of the Vishwarupam. Today we're going to start from 20 to 28. It's only one subject, but in a different way to look at it. And the key point for today, 20 to 28, 9th text. Kevala Bhakti, pure Bhakti, is far superior to demigod worship. You must remember that. Pure Bhakti is far superior of any other worship method that given any shastra, any religion, anywhere. And how? We are going to discuss that. So I'll break down a little more. Text 20. Somebody need. Radhesham Prabhu is unmuted. Okay, I'm going to mute. Oh, did I do something? No. Oh. Okay. Oh. How come I don't see the participant? Okay. Text 20, we're going to say, demigod worshippers also worship me. I yesterday mentioned, I hope you had a track. Text 21, demigod worshipper fall down and loses everything they ever gained by worshiping demigods. It's very sad. And I hope they feel sad. It's a good sad feeling. 22, of course, I don't mean you have to keep on judging whoever doing demigod worshiping and looking down. No, we need to uplift them, help them. You remember one class I mentioned, if you ever become judgmental or sentimental, you will feel disturbed in spiritual life. Try to remain always transcendental. It is not artificial, that is genuine. 3.42, last verse of 3rd chapter, Abam Buddhe Param Buddha, the original Prabhupada gave a class. He said, always should remain transcendental, every devotee. Transcendental means you think I'm a servant of Krishna, my duty to please his senses. Whoever comes on your way or whatever things comes, you try to engage them to please Krishna, that's all. Then you will remain transcendental. Because if you become sentimental or judgmental, if you say something that irritates the person and you want to help them, you're already blocking them. They don't feel comfortable to listen to you. They may be standing there, but they're not really taking it gladly. In my life, I also did a lot of mistakes, and I regret. But I try not to do. And I apologize also for that. So 22, those who worship me without destruction never lose anything. This is so sweet, 22. Now a question may come. You can write that question. You'll find the answer, whoever is going to read. Why this difference says when demigod worshippers are also worshiping Krishna? Because on 20 text, Krishna says that those who are worship, the demigod worshipper also worship me. Then question should come that why their difference? 23rd, the title should be something like that. Demigod worshipper worship me, but in an unauthorized way. So pay attention, what is that unauthorized way? 24, they don't know me as the supreme Jagna Bhokta and Prabhu. These two things we must remember, Krishna says, otherwise you will fall down. On 24. This is a big statement. Krishna does not reveal in all over Bhagavad Gita, but few places he boldly says, hey, accept me like this, because that's who I am. If you cannot see it, you'll fall down. you're not going to last in spiritual practice. And this 24 text is one of those. Very bold, very straightforward. Krishna is not hiding anything. 25, different worshippers will get different destination. Okay, without delay, we're going to start. First is Gautam Prabhu, going to start with text 20.
Hare Krishna. Travidyamam soma paput papa yagge rishtva swargatim prarthayante te punyamasadda surendra loka ashranti divyan divideva bhogan. Translation prepared by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Those who study the Vedas and drink the som juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. Purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights. Perfect. The word Trevidha refers to the three Vedas, Sam, Yajur and Rig. A Brahmana who has studied these three Vedas is called a Trivedi. Anyone who is very much attached to knowledge derived from these three Vedas is respected in society. Unfortunately, there are many great scholars of the Vedas who do not know the ultimate purpose of studying them. Therefore, Krishna herein declares himself to be the ultimate goal for the three Vedis. Actual Trivedis take shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna and engage in pure devotional service to satisfy the Lord. Devotional service begins with the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra and side by side trying to understand Krishna in truth. Unfortunately, those who are simply official students of the Vedas become more interested in offering sacrifices to the different demigods like Indra and Chandra. By such endeavor, the worshippers of different demigods are certainly purified of the contamination of the lower qualities of nature and are thereby elevated to the higher planetary systems or heavenly planets known as Maharlok, Janlok, Taplok, etc. One situated on those higher planetary systems, one can satisfy his senses hundreds of thousands of times better than on this planet. Hare Krishna.
Very good. So today I'm going to have a different setup. I'm trying different method, what affects better. Maybe at the end you can let me know what method works. Yesterday we read all the text and then we started giving commentary. But today we're going to start each one and see. So here in this verse, now Krishna is talking about Pratika Upasak. Pratika Tena Buddha, those who worship the Devatas. Krishna is saying they are also worshipping me, but indirectly. So I want to break down that sloka and see, because they are beautiful, actually, this sloka. Traividya refers to three Vedas. Krishna has earlier referred to Rig, Sam, Joju, Evacha. If you remember previous verse. I am these three Vedas. Now Krishna is saying, I am these three Vedas. What does this Veda teaches? That should be the question in our head. Like what the teaches that confusing? They primarily teach of doing karma kanda. Everybody remembers I asked you to please, just at least while I'm giving the class, remember that definition of karma. What is karma means according to Vaishnava definition? Not karma. In America also people knows karma. Even the professor, scientists, they know karma. Karma means do something to get something. I don't mean that. They literally say, even stock market, there is a karma guru, one guy's name. He comes and speaks sometime. Somebody told me. But they think karma means do something to get something. I don't mean that. Then you have a karma kandiya version. The Hindus, they think what karma is. Also Shastra, our Shastra says karma means when you are aligned with the book. Shastra says you do this, you do this. And then Bible also says this, Quran also says this. If you pray 5 times namaz, then you will be elevated. If you do Ramadan 1 month fasting during the day, at night you eat, you will be eligible to hear the Gabriel angel who had Muhammad heard it. These are all also fall into this category. You can see this. When you hear the other religion, it's easy to grasp them once you understand this. So what is bhakti definition of karma? Anybody remembers? Or I'm going to say it again.
The actions,
so long.
Actions
yes, mother.
pertaining to the development of the material body.
That is also correct. But that is according to one aspect of sadhan bhakti. But Rupa Goswami Pad gives a very significant. I just want to say it in one sentence. You just remember this. So long, I want to enjoy. Point yourself. So long, I want to enjoy the activities, the result of my action without Krishna. It is karma. Period. Very simple. Whatever you're doing, mentally, physically, or verbally, is it for you or for Krishna? That's all. If it is for you, it's karma. Then if you say, well, I like pizza, Prabhu, I mentioned that, I like pizza. So the Hare Krishna people said we should worship everything offered to Krishna. So I'll offer pizza to Krishna. That's okay. Can you see now the link? I like pizza, it karma, but I have to offer to Krishna bhakti. So karma misra bhakti. Can you understand this? It's a very simple way to understand. How karma yoga. Okay, I am feeling like working hard for my family, but I'm going to offer everything to Krishna. So karma, I still want to work hard. I am doing it because I got initiated and my family, I want to have children grow up. That's good. That is also Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is a broad, but be specific. It's a karma yoga Krishna consciousness. That's why Prabhupada said, Vishal Prabhu just passed away. He was in Vrindavan. I'm sure some of you know. Vishal Prabhu was one of our, my dearest friend when he used to come to Alachua. He said, I remember, he said one time he was at the door of, in Miami temple, at the door of Prabhupada's room. So Prabhupada is talking to this sannyasi, and this sannyasi is telling Prabhupada, well, I want to please Krishna this way. I don't want to do this to please Krishna. Prabhupada says, you should not think to please Krishna or not please Krishna. You should think what pleases Krishna. Such a fine line. Remember this, such a fine line. This is Rupa Goswami Pad wants, but not possible for everybody. Don't feel bad if somebody is, they do what they like to do. Don't judge, because they are also doing Krishna consciousness, karma yoga. They will come to that level. When you come to that level, what pleases Krishna is more important than pleasing Krishna. Very fine line. So like this. So bhakti definition of karma, I just said one line. Who remembers? Kaivalla Prabhu.
Yeah. So long I want to enjoy the activity of my result, karma, results of my actions. That is the karma. That is the definition of bhakti.
You're missing one word.
Away from Krishna.
So long I want to enjoy the activity of my results of my karma.
Now you're still missing the word. Without Krishna.
Without Krishna.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Without Krishna, whatever I'm thinking something. Oh, are you thinking that is for pleasure of Krishna or for you? What do you mean? Well, if you're thinking for yourself, it is karma still. You're going to suffer for it.
Okay.
But if you even thinking or talking, if it is for pleasure of Krishna, you find a source, then it is not karma. If it is for pleasure of Krishna, it is Krishna consciousness. Jena Tiena Prakarena Mano Krishna Niveshayat. Rupa Goswami Pad, this is a very liberal definition of bhakti. Jena Kena Prakarena. By any means, you fix your mind to Krishna. It is bhakti. Well, that's a very vast, it accommodates too much. So Annavilasita Swinnam is more specific. Okay, so here, why the Veda worshipper, demigod worshipper are not good? Because it promotes mostly karmakanda, rituals, by which one can attain sarga. Trivida mam somo pa puto papa. Somo pa means those who drink somo juice, which is one kind of amrit. Actually, I hope you know, the Gopa in, there is a Gopokit is like a kind of a bacteria. They actually sustain only for few hours. They take birth and after few hours they will die. But in between, they will go to school, they will raise children and get married, retirement, and all these things will be there, just like you do. But in 2-3 hours. For you, it's not even important. You say, what is the big deal? Now, if that bacteria had an opportunity to go back home, back to Godhead, within 2-3 hours, absorption in Krishna, would you suggest immediately to that bacteria? Sure. Similarly, the demigod looks at us from heaven. They think we are fools, those who are not taking Krishna consciousness. Because to them, it's like a little time. He said, why these human beings are stupid? They should just spend the whole life, which is like a little time for us. But we think, oh no, it's a big life. I have to find a good girl to marry, a good boy to marry. I have to go to school. I have to get educated. You know, Prabhu, come on, don't be, you know, be nice. I mean, we have to have an income. We have to buy a big house. What a plan. And demigod is laughing. Wow, what a joke. These people don't even know their 100 years is like a, just like a, nothing to them. And to Brahma, of course, is like a sneezing, less than sneezing time. But we take it so serious. 100 years, you invest the money, you want to grow it so much. So just be serious and think from their angle. So why it says Amrita, the Somo juice? Because for our time, our 100 years is nothing to demigod's time. So when you drink and you live there so long. Minimum lifespan is 10,000 years. Now, I don't mean to be rude, but if we had 100,000 years lifespan right here, I don't know how many of you really would be in Bhakti Shastri class right now. And if you have a guarantee you're not going to die for 100,000 years, I don't know. Maybe you all are fortunate. I was thinking like maybe I would not be a devotee even. I would be like enjoying 50,000 years and then we'll think. So this is how we calculate. So we have to see from Krishna's angle that don't waste time. Now let's go finish this verse. Then going to Sarga, what does that means? Sacrifice are performed at that time. Soma is also there as a part of sacrifice. By drinking that, one gets punya. Punya means piety. So in this world, there is intoxication. And when people drink, people take intoxication, it leads them to terrible tamogun. It leads to temporary state of madness, which people choose to undergo. But Soma juice is entirely different normal material intoxication. Takes our consciousness down to tamogun, whereas Somo takes our consciousness upward towards sattvagun. Everybody understanding? Somo juice is not going to take you tamogun. Even a first-class liquor in this world will take you to tamogun, and you're going to suffer. But when you drink Somo juice, it's good. You go to sattvagun. Haribol, I'm not promoting Somo juice, but I'm just saying it, that why they are attracted to that. And sattvagun means You are enjoying happy life. It stimulates. It's also somo juice. I was researching something. They're very delicious. It is not like, oh, just barely drink and then you'll be in Sattvagun. No. It is so tasty, you want to keep on drinking. You don't want to stop. And it's enjoyable. It's very nectarian. So it stimulates the enjoyment. You can have for intimacy for like 1,000 years, non-stop. Here, human being, after half an hour or 10 minutes, they finish. The man loses his power. 1 hour. And this is reality. Govinda Swarup Prabhu wrote a book. In America, when the people dates, the boys and girls, it's like maybe 1 day or 6 hours, 3 hours, 12 hours. In heaven also he found they have a dates. And that date goes like, our time is like a 5 years. Just a one-shot dates. So like this, he wrote a whole book about it. It was very nice. He's one of our guru also in ISKCON, very advanced devotee. So this, we should not take like a somo idea or going to demigod, or those people they have their own conception. Just like we are fascinated about going back home, back to God, and they're fascinated about enjoying the heaven. Same like us or even more, but in ignorance, not knowing the eternity of spiritual life. That's why. Okay, so here Krishna is telling even karma-kandi rituals are also worship of him, but because it is not done in consciousness of him, so it does not lead to attainment of him. Now we're going to read the next verse.
So Prabhuji, one quick question. So if Soma Juice gives that that Satyagun nature of the person, if they go in Satyagun, then why don't they, after drinking the Soma Juice, why don't they go to like Krishna consciousness and go back to Godhead? Why is it saying that they will be falling down after enjoying? Because by drinking that, they should be more pious, right?
Very, very intelligent question. Thank you. Yes, we say that Sattvagun is like a door to bhakti. In order to enter to bhakti, you cannot enter from Tamogun, from Rajagun, you have to come to Sattvagun. That is correct. But that is applicable only in this world. The Sattvagun, the problem is not the Sattvagun, the body they get, the body they have, Sattvagun body, it is not possible to meditate or do some austerity because it is too much happy. And the hellish body, they have a jantrana deha, like I pinch my hand little bit, it hurts, but not screaming. I'm pinching right now, and I see that it doesn't hurt as much. But in jantrana deha, hellish body, when I touch like this, like a freaking out. Their body is so painful. They cannot think. Just like a hog, pig. He thinks the stool is delicious. But if I see the stool, I don't feel delicious. I feel like to throw up. So how is possible? One soul is thinking delicious, another soul is the body. Body influences us. Heavenly body is looking for sense enjoyment so much, it's difficult for them to concentrate on Krishna. Very difficult. Too much happiness, sense enjoyment. Even though it is Sattvagun, you are very right. But Manushya Deha, human body, Sattvagun means close to God. It's different Sattvagun. It is the same Sattvagun, but your body does not perceive like a sense enjoyment Sattvagun idea. And also those who are sadhaka, you are in Sattvagun, be very careful because Sattvagun can be, I don't mean to attack you all, but I'm asking you a question. You don't have to answer me, you can just answer to yourself. Do you want Krishna consciousness to be a wonderful tool where you can have a wonderful religious life run now and forever? or you want Krishna consciousness is your last life in the material existence and get out once for all with as many devotees you can. It's your choice, you make it. Do not judge, because majority of us, sometimes we like this world, it's not bad, because they are in Sattvagun, they don't feel like suffering like karmis. They don't have a mental stress. I can relate that. I used to be like that. And I don't have that mental worry, anxiety, like it disappear. Not disappear by Krishna's grace. Bhakti does this. We can be peaceful anywhere, chant under tree, but we could not, karmi cannot do that, cannot even think like. So this choice you make where you want to do. Okay, text 21. Is that okay, Mata?
Yes, Prabhuji. But then last one, as you said, but then pure devotees, they do not think of going away, right? That again, it boils down to the same question that they always think wherever Krishna brings me, I will be there. They're not thinking of going back, to Godhead and living this world.
Their attachment to bhakti, service to please Krishna, is back home, back to Godhead. 2.72 Bhagavad Gita in the purport. I think I mentioned that. If you not, somebody can see it in 2.72. Prabhupada says, when you are serving Krishna in that platform, you are same as back home, back to Godhead. Because your inner connection keeps you spiritualized always. Is as good as back home, back to Godhead. So they are always will be in spiritual world. They are not desiring to go. But for me, conditioned soul, Prabhupada wants us to go back. I just heard a lecture other day, even Prabhupada said. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself said, if I had a love for Krishna, why am I in the material world? Now you figure it out. Why Lord Chaitanya said like that. That means he wants us to go back home. So that desire to go back home to please the Lord, it's a good desire.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
21, Mother Deepti.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I have a quick question. So, Prabhuji, as you said about the karma and the karma mixed bhakti. So, I have heard one word, karma-free activity.
What happened?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
I don't know how
I
it
can
was muted. So, as you said about the karma and karma mixed bhakti. So, I heard one word, karma-free activity. So, I want to know what is karma-free activity.
Karma-free activity is bhakti in one sense, but sometimes in the business world, some business-minded devotee can use it for difference. Just like in New York, we have a bagel. And it's so popular, that bagel shop, that they put a little article. It's a karma-free diet. Means you're never going to suffer for it. So these are different. It's not exactly what Shastra said, but it is relevant. It's okay. Purification means what? Purification has a many meaning. Purification means for a advanced sadhaka, means the impression to enjoy sense enjoyment is diminishing. Oh, that's purification. Very good. Yes, that's true. Purification also means everything you do, it's aligned with the devotional principle. Purification doesn't mean you do whatever you want to do. So karma-free means something like that.
Prabhuji, it's I do not know about bagel shop, but there is a shop in New York for the donut shop, which has
donut shop. That's what I mean. I mean, that's donut shop. Yes.
They're very tasty donuts.
Radhanath Maharaj told me he cannot even finish more than half of the bagel. Half of the donuts, I'm sorry, bagel. But Indradumna Maharaj, I was told, no, actually Maharaj told us. Indradumna Maharaj told me that he finished, can you guess how many donuts? I don't know. Anyway, this is not a class for donuts. But was like a remarkable. He ate, I think, 40 donuts. I cannot even eat
Oh
more
my
than
God.
2 or 3, but he ate 40 donuts.
One is more than enough, Prabhu. So big and so tasty.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Okay.
Is that Govinda donut, or how is it for best?
No, it's a different name. It's a devotee runs it.
Okay.
It's not a Govinda's. It's a different name. I forgot the name. It's a famous, very famous donut shop. Yeah. Okay, Mother Dipti.
Donut Town.
Donut Town. Okay. Now we'll stop donut now. Mother Dipti.
Yes,
Devidas.
Hare Krishna. Text 21. Tetam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam shine punye martaloka vishanti eva trai dharma manu prapanna gata gatam kama kama labhante. Meaning, when they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. Purport. One who is promoted to the higher planetary systems enjoy a longer duration of life and better facilities for sense enjoyment. Yet one is not allowed to stray there forever. One is again sent back to this earth upon finishing the resultant fruits of pious activities. He who has not attained perfection of knowledge, as indicated in the Vedanta Sutra, Janmadaya Asya Yata, or in other words, he who fails to understand Krishna, the cause of all causes, becomes baffled about achieving the ultimate goal of life, and is thus subjected to the routine of being promoted to the higher planets and then again coming down. As if situated on the Ferris wheel, which sometimes goes up and sometimes comes down, the purport is that instead of being elevated to the spiritual world, from which there is no longer any possibility of coming down, one simply revolves in the cycle of birth and death on higher and lower planetary systems. One should better take to the spiritual world to enjoy an eternal life full of bliss and knowledge and never return to this miserable material existence. Thank you. Hare
Okay, Mother Aditi Lata Devidasi, you got your answer from Prabhupada. The last line, it says that you should desire to go back. Now, let's break down these words very quick. So what happens for such people who goes to heavenly planet? That is described very nicely, isn't it? That te tam bhakta, they will enjoy. First of all, they will enjoy. What they will enjoy? Sarga lokam vishalam, large happiness they will enjoy. Not little bit. Large happiness they will enjoy. Okay, but then what? Shine punne. The punna is getting exhausted. Like your credit card, or you bought a ticket, or your bank account is like diminishing the money. The account becoming zero, close to zero. So when it get exhausted, what happens? Once the punna is getting exhausted, this is very dramatic, these slokos. Marta loko vishanti. They will come back to this earthly planetary system. In this way, what happens? What is the overall nature of this journey? Evam Trayi Dharmam. In this way, they will follow Trayi Dharma. In previous verse, it is mentioned Trayi Vidya Mam Sama Pa Puta Papa. So Trayi Vidya is that which is talked in 3 verses. If you look at in Gita in this chapter, Trayi Dharam also referred to follow 3 Veda. So Trayi Dharam also refer those who are doing dharma, artha, and kama. So they just got caught in dharma. Don't take it easily. Actually, I saw some people, they're so adamant about their belief, what they believe. And you tell them even higher truth. But if I don't have a way to draw that person's attention or deliver in such a way that that person will respond positively, they think you are fanatic. They don't want to listen. They want to just hold on to it, what they believe. And they will keep going heaven and come back, going heaven and come back. They will keep on going, rotating, like merry-go-round in a roller coaster or something. So Troy Dharmam refers many things. So 3 levels in 3 Purushartha. Evam Troy Dharmam Anuprana. So those who follow this Gata Gatam Kama Kama Lobante, or Gata Gatam, that means birth and death. So they just go on this Kama Kama Lobate. And there are many people, millions. We're not talking about 1, 2. Even in India, millions of people. They literally just adamant to hold on to it. So Krishna has told earlier in 2.70, I'm sure you passed through, na kama kami. So who will get peace for one whose desire come in like river, coming to ocean, but will not be disturbed by them? That person will attain peace. Not the person who is kama kami, one who desires of desires. Then again Krishna says, gata gatam kama kama lavante. So here Krishna is telling, very careful, be very careful. This is way I see it. That ultimately whole system of demigod worship centered around karma kanda is futile. It may lead to some temporary benefit in terms of enjoyment, but actually for an intelligent person, anything that gives the result which is less than eternal is less intelligent. I hope you agree all. Why? Because we all want everlasting happiness. When best is possible, why should we go for less? Isn't it like a common way we think? Also, Krishna will be telling worshipping him is much easier. Patram Pushpam. In a few minutes, we'll be coming to that. So my point is, if someone is in one part of ocean, it is very stormy, and he looks at other part of ocean, see that is calm, peaceful. So he put a lot of effort and goes there, but in any part of ocean, storm will come sooner or later. So why putting so much effort in going there? One Acharya says, karma is like a, I'm not against those who loves neem, what they call neem bhaji or neem sukta, whatever, the bitter preparation. I also like bitter, but don't take it that way. I'm just giving an example. Some people, they think, oh, you planted neem, so of course neem tree will come out. Then you take little leaf, you say, hell is bitter. That's how Prabhupada translates. Hell is bitter. Then say, I don't like it. No. It's okay. The lower leaves is okay, bad. But if you climb the tree up, it's very sweet. Do you all agree that if you climb up the tree of neem tree, the leaf will be sweeter, not bitter?
Yes,
This is
Prabhuji.
called...
No, Prabhuji.
I have experience, Prabhuji.
The neem leaf on the top is a sweeter?
Yes, Prabhuji. Actually, the fresh leaves of the neem is sweet.
No, that's different. I didn't say fresh leaves. I know that part.
Okay.
You think the up will be sweeter? Whole leaves?
No idea, Prabhuji.
No idea. Okay. But I tested it too before I'm telling you that exists. So the idea of karma kanda is like this. They think, you didn't enjoy. You know who promoted this? Jaimini. Jaimini Rishi, he's a big karma kandiya. He said, whatever you do, stay on top of your karma pile. Keep on doing good karma. So you'll be always, this is a illusion he created. But anyway, a lot of people fall for it. So I'll end with this. Sometimes we see a person is in very comfortable material situation. But that is like some people are in an ocean water, as I mentioned, facing problem. Someone is an iceberg. Right now is safe. But as sun is rising, iceberg is melting and melting. And suddenly the person will fall in the, you know where? Ocean. So rather than comfortable material situation, one should seek the destination of comfortable spiritual situation or spiritual destination. Please remember that. And that is what Krishna will talk about in next verse. Who is next? Brihat Prabhu, Brihatnath Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Text 22. Ananyāścintanto māṁ ye janā paryupāsate teshāṃ nityayuktānā yogakṣemam vahāmyaham. Translation. Those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. Purport. One who is unable to live for a moment without Krishna consciousness cannot but think of Krishna 24 hours a day. Being engaged in devotional service by hearing, chanting, remembering, offering prayers, worshipping, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, rendering other services, cultivating friendship and surrendering fully to the Lord, such activities are all auspicious and full of spiritual potencies, which make the devotee perfect in self-realization, so that his only desire is to achieve the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a devotee undoubtedly approaches the Lord without difficulty. This is called yoga. By the mercy of the Lord, such a devotee never comes back to this material condition of life. Kshema refers to the merciful protection of the Lord. The Lord helps the devotee to achieve Krishna consciousness by yoga. And when he becomes fully Krishna conscious, the Lord protects him from falling down to a miserable condition life. Hare Krishna.
Very good. How many of you know this verse by heart? Okay, good. At least some raised hand. This is a verse you must remember, please. When nobody is there around in you and you are in trouble, this verse will help you.
Yes, yes, sir.
This verse Krishna promised. And you know the pastimes of Mr. Mehta, somebody says, also Arjun Mishra, a famous story Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, who had a doubt about this verse. And he crossed even the line when Krishna says, Bahami Aham, this Aham means he will send somebody. No, Aham means Krishna personally. To prove that, there was a whole episode took place. So I'm going to spend few minutes, bear with me. This is important verse. This is one of the verse you feel like when I recite this, I feel like, honestly, I'm not showing off or something. I feel like a chewing candy as a little boy. It's so tasty. This verse, you can taste it like a candy. You don't need any other food. This verse is so good. Krishna, how much he loves us, how much he cares for us, this verse demonstrates. So I know you got this taste of demigod worshipping idea, I'm sure, those two verses. Now this verse giving us the opposite, nectar. So let's break it. Ananyas chintayanto mam, one who fixes the mind. How? Ananyas chintayanto je jana paripasate. Those who does worship me, mam, what will happen? Tesam nitta bhijuktanam. Those who constantly absorbed in devotion to me, for them, jogo schema bahami aham. So I protect what they have and I provide what they lack. Bahami aham, not by my agent, it's me. I personally, Krishna says. This is very important. And you will think like Krishna is unlimited, omnipotent. Really, he's going to come for this insignificant soul? Yes, sir. Yes, Mata. If you think like this, if you are absorbed in Krishna, this is a verse which illustrates personal intervention and personal care, which Lord takes for those who approach him personally and devotionally. We see the principle which Krishna has talked about in 4.11. Everybody remember, right? That's also another verse. Prabhupada quote lot. Je jatha mam prapaddante santateva bhajami aham. Krishna also says bhajami aham. Says similar, close to similar pattern. Bhajami aham. I'll reciprocate. Who? He didn't say Shiva or demigod. No, I. Krishna says I am. As people surrender to me, I reward accordingly. So here Krishna is elaborating the principle by telling if someone approaches with pure devotion, Krishna reciprocates accordingly. He takes as his responsibility to take care of them. Not just his responsibility, but his personal responsibility, Bahami Aham. We should not think that this is like a business arrangement. You all have an idea about business arrangement. Why Krishna is making such stiff demands, stiff, S-T-I-F-F, stiff demand. Krishna is saying you have to chintan of me, you have to think of me, be wrapped up of me. Is it difficult? Yes and no. If you have a good association of those who are thinking of him, it's easy. You are on your alone and you want to try, after 5 minutes you will forget. Something else will pop in the mind. And after half an hour you think, oh my God, I was thinking something else. What happened? This is called anartha nivritti. And you'll come to a state, wow. For half an hour, I didn't even think anything but Krishna's beautiful pastime. When Balaram was seeing that Krishna is cheating, I'm just giving a reference. Balaram seeing Krishna is cheating the game. And Balaram said, you can't do this. Krishna says, yes, I can do. He said, no, you can't do this. You're just cheating. I see that you're winning the game by cheating. And no boys knows, but I see it. Krishna said, so what are you going to do? Haha. Balaram said, Krishna, you cannot do like this. I'm going to punish you. You know what Krishna says? I am an object of your affection. Mother said in the morning, Balai, please take care of your brother. So I am an object of your affection. Object of your affection is not punishable. Balaram is thinking, you are too much. And he's playing and he's cheating again. He said, I won. So Krishna, Balaram could not tolerate. He gave a little, gentle slap. They never hurt. Mother Jashoda never beat Krishna, but shows the stick, shield. So Balaram went like this gentle, touch on Krishna's cheek. You cannot do this, I told you. Krishna got moody. Krishna ran away to home and he's crying like a baby. And Mother Jashoda said, what happened? He said, Dada told me, Dada means big brother, told me he doesn't love me. Oh my gosh, how can he say that? He doesn't love you. This is impossible. And Krishna started crying and crying. And Mother Rohini Maya ran to the playground. Balaram immediately ran back to the house. And all the boys like, what happened? Everybody came. And Krishna doesn't stop crying. Why? Because, did you say that you don't love Krishna? Balaram said, I never said such thing. And now Balaram started crying because he felt so bad. He said, how can I ever say? No, I never said. He's going fighting on his own mind. Did I ever say? No, I could never say that. And Balaram started crying. Now Balaram feeling for Krishna is increased so much. Krishna is thinking, oh my God, he's not stopping crying. His cry is more for me than my crying for him. So then finally he went to Balaram. He said, I'm sorry, I made it up. So you never said like that. Then Balaram and Krishna gave a big hug. So you think like when you're chanting, you think like, oh my God, how Krishna do these tricky things. You just think like this, you'll see the half an hour pass away. You will not even disturb. Mind will not go anywhere. You have to hear pastimes. You have to think of the Krishna's quality. And Krishna has the power. What Krishna has the power with Mother Yashoda? What is the power of the child to Mother Yashoda? What Bhagavatam says? Krodam balam. They are crying. When they cry, mother is helpless. Even mother get angry but cannot do anything. Mother Yashoda told Krishna, you made your pen dirty 3 times this morning. No more playing outside. But Krishna cried, okay, I'll clean it. No more playing outside. Okay. She put a new dress and Sri Ram is calling, come on, we made the universes. We know how to make universes. Of course, they have no idea that Krishna is God who makes who creates the universe. So they're challenging and Krishna is thinking, I want to play. Can I? Say yes, but you never make your pen dirty. Yes, of course, mother. He goes there. And Sri Ram says, look, I made the best universe. Nobody can make, even God cannot make like me. Then Krishna made a universe with this sand. He said, my one is better. Sri Ram says, no, my one is better. So they have a who is better creator. So finally Sri Ram picks up a dirt and put it on Krishna's head. Why? Because Krishna kicked Sri Ram's creation. And Sri Ram got so angry, he got all this dirt and put it, said, this is for you, this is the creation. And all the dress and everything is dirty. Now Krishna is thinking, how do I convince mother? She already changed 3 times and she told me last warning. So this is a playful, beautiful pastime. So when you're busy, then your mind will never go anywhere. So here Krishna is elaborating the principle by telling if someone approaches with pure devotion, he reciprocates accordingly. He takes as his responsibility to take care of them, to take care of each of you. Not just his responsibility, but his personal responsibility. We should not think that this is like a, some kind of experience we had in this world. No, it is not a business arrangement. The point here is that it is reciprocation. I really want you to remember. If you reciprocate with Krishna, he will reciprocate with you. Can everybody remember that? You don't want to reciprocate, Krishna does not reciprocate. You think sometime, will I ever reciprocate? Well, did you try to reciprocate? You try, then Krishna will. So, you know what reciprocation we do? Don't take it personally, I'm not trying to judge you. Generally, when we are in trouble, we go to Krishna. Oh, Krishna, you have to protect me. Oh, Mahaprabhu, we have to protect. That's not a reciprocation. Reciprocation is like a good time reciprocation also. Okay, you need help, Krishna will help. But then after that, you forget. Until another challenges come, then Krishna wants you to reciprocate every day. While you honoring Prasadam, why don't you say, oh, Krishna, you are so thirsty sometimes that you pop the cheek of who? Madhumangal, who is a Brahman boy, have a big cheek. And one day Krishna wanted to drink this butter and Madhumangal would not give. He said, no, I am a Brahman boy, you are a Vaishya, we don't touch much. So he was forcing himself and his cheek became so big because he's putting all the butter milk inside. Krishna goes like this and put all the butter come out to his mouth. So you think like, what a hilarious, and Brahmaji saw it. Brahmaji said he cannot God. That's why one of the 7 things Brahmaji got illusion. Say, how can God do this, eating from somebody's mouth? Yes, Krishna does this. Krishna loves those coward boys. So when you eat honor prasadam, think of Krishna, how Krishna reciprocate like this. Then he will reciprocate with you. So the whole material world is an expression of love of Krishna as living entity can fulfill their desire and come back to him for eternal happiness. But those who love him, he naturally reciprocate with him and love them more. Oh, I'm looking at the time, I'm a little scared. Okay, I'll go to the next verse. There's more thing to say about this. We'll see, we'll come back if we have time. Next verse is Palika Pavini Devidasi. 23rd.
Yes, Prabhu. Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me. O son of Kunti. Sorry, Prabhu, I didn't read the shloka.
Please read. Jayana Devata Bhakta.
ये पन्यदेवता भक्ता यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विताः तेऽपि मामेव कौन्तेय यजन्त्यविद्धिपूर्वकम्. Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. Let me continue, Prabhu.
Yes.
Purport. Persons who are engaged in the worship of demigods are not very intelligent. Although such worship is offered to me indirectly, Krishna says, for example, when a man pours water on the leaves and branches of the tree without pouring water on the root, he does so without sufficient knowledge or without observing regulative principles. Similarly, the process of rendering service to different parts of the body is to supply food to the stomach. The demigods are, so to speak, different officers and directors in the government of the Supreme Lord. One has to follow the laws made by the government, not by the officers or directors. Similarly, everyone is to offer his worship or worship to the Supreme Lord only. That will automatically satisfy the different officers and directors of the Lord. The officers and directors are engaged as representatives of the government, and to offer some bribe to the officers and directors is illegal. This is stated here as avidya purvakam. In other words, Krishna does not approve the unnecessary worship of the demigods.
Very good. This is so clear. I hope everybody understand. Very good. So what do we take a key point from this? Krishna is talking about demigod worshipper. How are they contrast with pure devotees? One thing he said, it is temporary. We should categorize like this. Whereas devotee, I will protect and preserve. But he further develops that contrast in this. So JP Anna Devata Bhakta, those who devotee of other demigods, what happened to them? This verse says. Jajante Shraddhayamnita, they worship faithfully. Shraddhayamnita. Teopi mam eva kunteya. O kunteya, they also jajante mam only, means they worship me, but abhidi purvakam. It is abhidi. It is improper. It is a wrong way. Krishna is clearly differentiating mam and Anna Devata Bhakta between these two. Worshipping me and worshipping any demigod. There are many Gita commentators who translate this verse, and some popular Hindu website. I was told also that this verse is translated and last part of Vidhi Purvakam removed entirely. So be very careful when you see some others Bhagavad Gita. I know you will not read others Bhagavad Gita. What they put in those who worship other God also worship me. This is called misrepresentation of Gita's message. So be very careful. Of course, you don't have a problem if you just follow only Prabhupada's Gita. That's why Prabhupada put it Bhagavad Gita as it is. Okay, next verse is Mother Sojanna Devidasi. Mother
Sure, Prabhuji.
Sojan. Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. Text 24, right? No.
Yes, text 24. Are you there? Okay, if she's not there, can Mother Joy Radha Devi Dasi, can you read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I could not read. Can I read? Leela Govindas.
Okay.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Go ahead, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, can you hear me?
Text.
Oh, Krishna.
Okay,
Prabhuji, my
Prabhuji,
internet
just
got slow, Prabhuji.
okay, Prabhuji, just wait. I'll give you a
Yeah,
chance.
I'll wait, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Mother Sojanna, please.
Aham hi sharva yagnanam bhokta cha prabhur eva cha natu mam abhijananti tat tatve natascha vantite. Translation: I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. Here, purport. Here it is clearly stated that there are many types of yajna performances recommended in the Vedic literatures, but actually all of them are meant for satisfying the Supreme Lord. Yajna means Vishnu. In the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly stated that one should only work for satisfying Yajna or Vishnu. The perfectional form of human civilization, known as Varnashrama Dharma, is specifically meant for satisfying Vishnu. Therefore, Krishna says in this verse, I am the enjoyer of all sacrifices because I am the Supreme Master. Less intelligent persons, however, without knowing this fact, they worship demigods for temporary benefit. Therefore, they fall down to material existence and do not achieve the desired goal of life. If, however, anyone has any material desire to be fulfilled, he had better pray for it to the Supreme Lord, although that's not pure devotion, and he will thus achieve the desired result. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you. So in this logo, what was the key point? Krishna is the Lord of all God. This is very bold statement Krishna made. I am the only enjoyer. He didn't say I am one of the enjoyer. Indra is also enjoyer. No, he said I am the only enjoyer. This is very specific. He alone, he said he is the only enjoyer. Ahami sarvajigyanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha. And he says master of all sacrifice. This is very bold statement. Krishna revealed his secret. And what happened if you don't recognize that position, that two position, that he is the master of all sacrifice? Then he said, you'll fall down. Means you'll stay in the material world. So we must convince ourselves right at this moment, talk to yourself, that Krishna says here, he is the only enjoyer and he is the master of all sacrifice. We must maintain that faith. Okay, next verse. There's so much to discuss on this verse. But we'll see. 25, text 25, Mother Joy Radha Devi Dasi.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Yante devavrata devan prityunyanti pitruvrataha bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti madhyajinopi mam. Translation: those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirit will take birth among such beings, and those who worship me will live with me. Prabhuji, you want me to continue?
Yes.
If one
Please.
has any desire to go to the moon, the sun, or any other planet, one can attain the desired destination
by following specific Vedic principles recommended for that purpose, such as a process technically known as Darsha Purnamasi. These are vividly described in the fruitive activities portion of the Vedas, which recommends a specific worship of demigods situated on different heavenly planets. Similarly, one can attain the Pita planets by performing a specific yajna. Similarly, one can go to many ghostly planets and become a yaksha, raksha, or pisacha. Pishacha worship is called black art or black magic. There are many men who practice this black art and they think that it is spiritualism. But such activities are completely materialistic. Similarly, a pure devotee who worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead only achieves the planets of Vaikuntha and Krishna Loka without a doubt. It is very easy to understand through this important verse that if by simply worshipping the demigods one can achieve the heavenly planets, or by worshipping the Pitas achieve the Pita planets, or by practicing the black art achieve the ghostly planets, why can the pure devotee not achieve the planet of Krishna or Vishnu? Unfortunately, many people have no information of these sublime planets where Krishna and Vishnu live, and because they do not know of them, they fall down. Even the impersonalists fall down from the Brahma Jyoti. The Krishna consciousness movement is therefore distributing sublime information to the entire human society to the effect that by simply chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, one can become perfect in this life and go back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Very good. Anybody knows the very quick answer? Why Prabhupada say impersonalists fall down from Brahmajyoti? Why they fall down?
Because they don't get shelter in the spiritual planets, Prabhuji. It's a temporary platform. You cannot stay inactive eternally. The soul is always active, and in Brahmajyoti there's no activity.
Very good. So the point is not that they cannot, the Brahmajyoti is a temporary. Brahmajyoti is not a temporary, it's also eternal, but there is no activity. You hit the point, very good. That there, we have senses. In spiritual body, we have senses, we have everything just like material body, but there is no activities. So that's why it is temporary. Thank you, wonderful answer.
Prabhuji,
yes.
Prabhuji, there is nothing to do anything there. There is no activity pertaining to the Krishna there. So there is no relation with the Krishna. And if there is no relation with the Krishna, so there is no chance to go upper. And because of that, they fall down.
That is true. Except sometime Narad Muni passed by, there is a record. And Durvasa, he is also Brahmavadi. He has this Siddhaloka, whereas Brahma Jyotis in that sense. But after this beautiful pastime with Krishna, Durvasa revealed, and he actually made them devotee. Many, many thousands liberated soul in Brahman platform became devotee. So that's very rare, but generally no. Yes, thank you. That's wonderful. Next is Mother Subhasini Padma Devi Dasi.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Next 26.
Pushpam yo me bhaktya prayachati tataham bhaktya upahritam asnami prayatatmanah. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
You can go, Mother, you can go halfway purport.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or a water, I will accept it. Purport. For the intelligent person, it is essential to be in Krishna consciousness, engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, in order to achieve a permanent blissful abode for eternal happiness. The process of achieving such a marvelous result is very easy and can be attempted even by the poorest of the poor without any kind of qualification. The only qualification required in this connection is to be a pure devotee of the Lord. It does not matter what one is or where one is situated. The process is so easy that even a leaf or a little water or fruit can be offered to the Supreme Lord in genuine love, and the Lord will be pleased to accept it. No one, therefore, can be barred from Krishna consciousness because it is so easy and universal. Who is such a fool that he does not want to be Krishna conscious by this simple method and thus attain the highest perfectional life of eternity, bliss, and knowledge? Krishna wants only loving service and nothing more. Krishna accepts even a little flower from his pure devotee. He does not want any kind of offering from a non-devotee. He is not in need of anything from anyone because he is self-sufficient, and yet he accepts the offering of his devotee in an exchange of love and affection. To develop Krishna consciousness is the highest perfection of life. Bhakti is mentioned twice in this verse in order to declare more emphatically that bhakti or devotional service is the only means to approach Krishna. No other condition, such as becoming a Brahmana, a learned scholar, a very rich man, or great philosopher, can induce Krishna to accept some offering. Without the basic principle of bhakti, nothing can induce the Lord to agree to accept anything from anyone. Bhakti is never casual. The process is eternal. It is direct action in service to the absolute whole. Here, Lord Krishna, having established that he is the only enjoyer, the primeval Lord and the real object of all sacrificial offerings, reveals what types of sacrifices he desires to be offered. If one wishes to engage in devotional service to the Supreme, in order to be purified and to reach the goal of life, the transcendental loving service of the God, then one should find out what the Lord desires of him. One who loves Krishna will give him whatever he wants, and he avoids offering anything which is undesirable or unasked. Thus, meat, fish, and eggs should not be offered to Krishna. If he desired such things as offerings, he would have said so. Instead, he clearly requests that a leaf, fruit, flowers, and water be given to him. And he says of this offering, I will accept it. Therefore, we should understand that he will not accept meat, fish, and eggs. Vegetables, grains, fruits, milk, and water are the proper foods for human beings and are prescribed by Lord Krishna himself. Whatever else we eat cannot be offered to him, since he will not accept it. Thus, we cannot be acting on the level of loving devotion if we offer such foods. Hare
Very
Krishna.
good. Thank you so much. Mother Apurva Shakti Devi Das.
Prabhu Leela Govind Prabhu had said he wanted to read before that. Do you want him to go before me?
Now you go ahead, and Leela Govinda is going to do next verse.
In the third chapter, verse 13, Sri Krishna explains that only the remains of sacrifice are purified and fit for consumption by those who are seeking advancement in life and release from the clutches of the material entanglement. Those who do not make an offering of their food, he says in the same verse, are eating only sin. In other words, their every mouthful is simply deepening their involvement in the complexities of material nature. But preparing nice, simple vegetable dishes, offering them before the picture or deity of Lord Krishna, and going down and praying for him to accept such a humble offering, enable one to advance steadily in life, to purify the body, and to create fine brain tissues, which will lead to clear thinking. Above all, the offering should be made with an attitude of love. Krishna has no need of food, since he already possesses everything that be. Yet he will accept the offering of one who desires to please him in that way. The important element in preparation, in serving, and in offering is to act with love for Krishna. The impersonalist philosophers who wish to maintain that the absolute truth is without senses cannot comprehend this verse of Bhagavad Gita. To them, it is either a metaphor or proof of the mundane character of Krishna, the speaker of the Bhagavad Gita. But in actuality, Krishna, the Supreme Godhead, has senses, and it is stated that his senses are interchangeable. In other words, one sense can perform the function of any other. This is what it means to say that Krishna is absolute. Lacking senses, he could hardly be considered full in all opulences. In the 7th chapter, Krishna has explained that he impregnates the living entities into material nature. This is done by his looking upon material nature. And so in this instance, Krishna's hearing the devotees' words of love in offering foodstuffs is wholly identical with his eating and actually tasting. This point should be emphasized. Because of his absolute position, his hearing is wholly identical with his eating and tasting. Only the devotee who accepts Krishna as he describes himself without interpretation can understand that the supreme absolute truth can eat food and enjoy it.
It's very nice ending. Thank you, Mata. So, Prabhu, please prepare for the next verse. I'm going to just touch this verse. What's the time? Okay, just for 2 minutes. Because this is one of the verse I'm requesting all of you must remember. This is another candy for us, spiritual candy. You can chew it anytime. Here Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Tuyam. One can offer me very simple things like leaf, flower, fruit, simply water. Jo me bhakta prajachati. When one offers me with devotion, then, see the key point Mataji just read, there is a 2 times bhakti is mentioned. And you have to focus that point in that verse. We just read it, but it may not click to us. So I'm mentioning it again. Why Prabhupada said this? Because this is very important. He said, Jo me bhakta prajachati. For an example, if you find a nice dishes in the restaurant, it's very nice vegetarian dish I'm going to offer to Krishna. Is there true bhakti is there in the dishes? No. Why? Because the person who cooked, he cooked for money or something to get in exchange, not for pleasing Krishna. This is a key point, practical, relevant in our life. I'm not saying that, Prabhu, if you are suffering for the food and there is a restaurant, you don't have any prasad, you don't eat, starve. I'm not saying that. You can offer, Krishna will definitely see your position. But point here Krishna is making, Jo me bhakta prajachati. Then when one offers, tadaham bhakta bhakti upaharita. Upaharita, upahar, you know, upahar in Hindi, I think you say also Bengali. Upahar means a gift. Upaharitam, that which is offered to me with love. When you give a gift to somebody, you smile, say, I got something for you. And the person says, really? Wow. So that's a kind of expression of love. The word Krishna used, upaharitam, is very dynamic, very interesting, tasty. Asnami, prajatatmana. Krishna says boldly, I accept it. So in this verse, bhakta prajachati, bhakta uparitam. Do you see twice? Bhakta prajachati, bhakta uparitam. And prajatatmana. All these show consciousness from our side. That there is a devotion. Prajatatmana is pure-hearted one. So if somebody wanted to approach Krishna with devotion, with love, then Krishna reciprocate with such a person by flooding that person with his mercy. One aspect of the mercy is Krishna accept what is offered, even if it is very simple. I like the way Prabhupada put it. So that is when Krishna rejected Duryodhana's. I'm sure you all are aware that Duryodhana invited Krishna, and in some commentary given that even Duryodhana was convincing Karna. Krishna rejected my invitation because he's from Gawala. You know, Gawala means from village. He does not know how to eat nice food like a 56 preparation, Chappanna Bhog. This is the ignorance talk of Duryodhana. So when Krishna rejected Duryodhana's invitation for food at his house, at that time Krishna explains, one eats at other house in two conditions. If one is hungry and if they have affection between themselves. I hope you remember that. So I'm not hungry, Krishna saying, because you are inimical towards my dear devotees, Pandavas. So I'm not affectionate towards you. Do you understand? These two things require. And both things are proven not there with Duryodhana. That's why Krishna did not take. Now we have to develop within us those two in a stronger way. Then Krishna will eat. You don't have to doubt. So I will not eat. Then Krishna chose to go to house of Vidura. Now in Vidura, there was no 56 preparation, Chappanna Bhog. In Calcutta, there was a restaurant called Chappanna Bhog. I don't know what they made, but I never went there. But the name was there near our temple. So Vidura, although connected with royal family, but he was very simple. He was not having much opulence. So when Krishna reached at his house, Vidura was not there. Vidura's wife wanted to offer something to Krishna, but there were only banana at the house. In excitement, she wanted to offer the fruits and throw away the pills, but she has done reverse. I'm not saying, Haribol, don't do that. That's not what we do. That is only exception when you arrive that stage of Vidurani. So Vidura's wife wanted to offer something to Krishna. Once to understand this pastime, eats banana peel, he mentioned that it is so tasty. Less, even a fraction, I don't know if any one of you ever tasted banana peel. Okay, that's good. Some of you are nothing. But Krishna says he was satisfied with the banana peel. Now Prabhupada, he was received in San Francisco. I'm sorry, I go off and then time goes away. I'm just thinking, like, should I tell the story? Maybe I'll just, I won't do it anymore. I'll stop there. So anyway, Prabhupada came there in San Francisco, and all the hippies, they welcome Prabhupada. This is beginning of the movement. And Prabhupada was surprised to see them having a dress made of banana peel. And Prabhupada was wondering, what is this? So he asked somebody, what's happening? He said, oh, they wearing banana peel dress. Like literally, the whole body is covered with banana peel. And so Prabhupada said, okay. Prabhupada is so merciful. He's just curious, but he never judged. He said, is there a reason? He said, because the banana peel dries very quick when you put it on your body in a dress form. So, oh, why they want to dry the banana peel? He said, banana peel, when it is dry, if you smoke, you stay high forever. Prabhupada smiled. Anyway, whatever. Then they say, but Prabhupada, good news is all these hippies bringing every day 3 carts of bananas for Jagannath. Prabhupada said, that's very nice. They're bringing every day that much banana? Said, yes, only one condition. They want to offer the banana to Jagannath, but they want banana peel back. Prabhupada said, whatever. This is very funny, you know, I could not control myself because knowing that past times. Because I met one devotee who was there. He became a devotee, but he was a hippie. Prabhupada was so kind. He actually smiled and gladly accepted their banana. And every day they would bring hundreds of bananas to offer Jagannath. Only one condition, they don't want banana bag. They want banana peel bag. And anyhow, this is a long story about that. It's very unique. But the point here, Vidurani was not giving the banana peel intentionally. When Narad Muni appeared, you know what happened? Narad Muni asked, my Lord, if someone does not know that other person is offering wrong things, the person who is eating can correct the other person. Say, excuse me, can you give me the banana instead of peel? So then Krishna so sweetly answered to Narada, oh Narada, I'm not hungry for banana or banana peel. What I am eating, I know, and what she is feeding, she knows. That's all it matters. Narad Muni was shocked, like, wow. This is called bhakti. Now, I'm not saying anybody in your house practice like this. You give the banana peel to Krishna. No, this is not for us, as I mentioned this. So Gajendra offered flower to Lord Narayan. If you look at for a moment, all of a sudden, Krishna reminded that. Once Krishna was lost in kind of gambling by Rukmini. And Krishna was made to sit on weighing scale. I don't know if you know that pastime. I'm sure you probably heard it. And other side, how much gold was put. It was not enough. Then one leaf of tulsi was put. Then tulsi became heavier than Krishna. Everybody heard that story, no? So think of when Krishna says patram, how powerful that tulsi leaf. So essential point is that, please, what pleases the Lord is devotion of our heart. Then if the expression of devotion is very simple, it does not matter. But a devotee always wanted to offer the best what he can. I won't say it, but you can hear that pastimes. In Hyderabad, one time incident happened in ISKCON. I don't think any other incident happened. They hired an outsider cook from a third class cook. I never heard Prabhupada became angry ever in my hearing Prabhupada pastime. On that pastime I heard. Prabhupada was furious. He said, what kind of prasad is this? Is a third class, low class. You invite people to eat this? Who cooked it? So they shown that outside some low class person, he said he can cook for some money. And Prabhupada did not approve it. Prabhupada was very angry. And Prabhupada said, in a point, I'm making it too short, Prabhupada said, why are you hiring third class cook? Why even hiring somebody? Why don't you learn how to cook for Krishna? And I'm also guilty for that. Bhakti Charan Maharaj told me, you're going to take sannyasi. Do you know how to cook? I said, no, Maharaj. He said, you better learn. Prabhupada told me. So every sannyasi must learn. Every devotee should learn how to cook. It is a good idea. And till today, I'm not a good cook. So please pray for me and bless me so I can become a good cook someday. Or at least some cook. So anyway, the point was, Prabhupada was very angry. And then Prabhupada made a very statement. He said, if you need money, you ask me. I will supply you as much money you need. But make first class prasadam. First class food offered to Krishna. First class prasadam distribute. Never sacrifice anything, compromise less. Prabhupada was very heavy on this prasadam. Should be first class. I'm not saying all we should become a sense enjoyer, but for Krishna, we should always give the best. Nobody should ever think that they can eat better in their house than Krishna's prasadam. So the purport is finishing here. Krishna can accept the offering by just looking at it also. And you can read many pastimes. One is the famous pastime of, who do we talk? Madhav Das's son, Raghunandan Thakur. This is a famous pastimes. So many pastimes are there. Angani Jasya Sakalendriya Vrittimanti. That is, we have to believe that Krishna can just by look at it and he eat the whole thing. We have to have a strong faith. Okay, next verse. Oh, Krishna, we have two more. Anybody left? Yes, somebody's left. Leela Govinda Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you,
And
Prabhu.
after that, somebody voluntarily has to come. Okay, go ahead, Prabhu. Jat karoshi jasnasi. 27.
Okay, text 27. Yat karosi yadasnasi yadjuhosi dadasi yat tapashvasi kaunteya tat kurusva madarpanam. Translation. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. Purport. Thus, it is the duty of everyone to mold his life in such a way that he will not forget Krishna in any circumstance. Everyone has to work for maintenance of his body and soul together. And Krishna recommends herein that one should work for him. Everyone has to eat something to live. Therefore, he should accept the remnants of foodstuffs offered to Krishna. Any civilized man has to perform some religious ritualistic ceremonies. Therefore, Krishna recommends, do it for me. And this is called Archana. Everyone has a tendency to give something in charity. Krishna says, give it to me. And this means that all surplus money accumulated should be utilized in furthering the Krishna consciousness movement. Nowadays, people are very much inclined to the meditational process, which is not practical in this age. But if anyone practices meditating on Krishna 24 hours a day by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra round his beats, he is surely the greatest meditator and the greatest yogi, as substantiated by the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita.
Very good. Can somebody allow those people, devotees in the waiting room to join, please? Okay, I'll touch a little bit on this. I see there's a waiting room, 4 devotees are waiting. So this is one of the verse, another verse. You got to love it. You got to love it. You know, even I doubt myself. Do I have bhakti? I don't know, maybe not. This kind of doubt comes. But if you look at this verse, what the Krishna is so kind. He says, hey, even if you don't have a bhakti, just offer it to me. Isn't so kind? This verse says, Jat karoshi jasnasi. Previous verse says you have to have a bhakti. But this verse says, even if you don't have a bhakti, just offer it to me, Krishna says. Such a lovable person, such a eminently, eternally lovable Krishna. He just wants you back to happy, joyful life. So Krishna is telling generally over here that whatever one does, one can offer it to him. Jat karoshi, jat asnashi. Whatever we do, whatever we eat, whatever we give away, johoshi, dadashi, whatever we are offering, jat tapasyashi, whatever austerity we do, tat kurusya madarpanam. You offer that to me. So Krishna is not using the word bhakti over here in this verse. If you look at it, there's no word bhakti in this verse. Jat karoshi jasnasi, no bhakti. Over here, what Krishna is saying, the principle of offering to him is also auspicious. So here, neither bhakti is mentioned, nor asnami is mentioned. So Krishna does not say explicitly that I will accept it. Now there's a key point. Krishna did not say I will accept it, but he's saying you should do it. Just give it to me. The austerity, do it to me. But he did not say I will accept it. That doesn't mean Krishna will reject it. See, you can go other way. Krishna did not say I will accept it, neither he said I will reject it. He didn't say either. So when we offer food to Krishna, a pure devotee offer food to Krishna, is there any difference? Yes, there is a difference in the quality of devotion. Naturally, there is a difference in quality of reciprocation. But still, that does not mean that everyone who does not have pure devotion is left out of the world of devotion. See how loving Krishna is. You can tell anybody, your neighbor, just say Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu before you eat. I do this all the time here in Alachua. When somebody say, at your age, you look very healthy, I said, yes, because I chant some mantra before I eat. So really, what do you do? I tell them, you chant Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu. Prabhupada told this to Tatpar Maharaj. He passed away. He could not find any prasadam in Calcutta. Can you imagine? Those days we didn't have a temple. There was no prasadam place. Of course, in India, you think everything is like a prasadam. No, they're not a prasadam. They're just bhoga. So Prabhupada said, before you eat, no, Prabhupada said, don't they have a corn? Bhutta, corn. And then Tatpar Maharaj said, yes, Prabhupada. He said, then they generally on the walking pavement, these people sit there, they have a little oven, like creates, and they burn the bhutta, corn, little bit burn, and then they sell every day, thousands, hundreds of them. So he said, you can take those and you chant Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu. Then you'll be counter, no bad effect. So Tatpar Maharaj taught us also. He was our leader one time in early 80s. So I'm not saying this is what you should do. You should offer it properly, but in case if you get stuck somewhere, not offerable anything, at least chant Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu. Then you can honor it. At least you reciprocate that, Krishna, I'm sorry I don't have a facility, I didn't cook, but at least something I'm trying, please. So this verse is applicable to them. Krishna is saying, Tatpurusha Madarpanam, you offer it to me. Krishna is saying, by this, you will get auspiciousness, you will get purified. So it is okay. Even if we cannot offer because of the circumstances or I didn't cook, but I'm hungry, I need to maintain this body so I can serve him. Then you do this, Sri Vishnu, and say, my Lord, Jat Karoshi Jasnasi, you say it to offer you, and I'm offering. And take advantage of this verse also. You may not have bhakti, I may not have bhakti, but Prabhupada has bhakti. And Prabhupada says he will remain Shiksha Guru for 10,000 years. So he is our Guru. You have your Diksha Guru, he is also our Shiksha Guru. You can literally tell Krishna, I don't have bhakti, but you love Prabhupada's offering. Prabhupada told us to chant Sri Vishnu, I'm following him. So please take it. Krishna will lead it. And this is what Raghunandan did. My father will be angry, he loves you, please eat. And he started crying. There is no mantra, nothing he chanted. Krishna was bound to come down from his altar and sat down and ate. Before he never did this, but this boy didn't know either. See how he reciprocate? He will reciprocate. So the last verse 28, voluntarily, mother or Prabhu, someone, Krishna.
I can read, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Shubha Shubha Bhalerevam Mochase Karma Bandhanaihi Sannyasa Yoga Yuktatma Vimukto Mam Uvaishyasi. In this way, you will be freed from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on me in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me. Purport. One who acts in Krishna consciousness under superior direction is called Yukta. The technical term is Yukta Vairagya. This is further explained by Rupa Goswami as follows. Anasaktasya Vishayan Yatharham Upayujnyadaha Nirbandhaha Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairagya Muchade. Bhakti Rasamada Sindhu 1-2-55. Rupa Goswami says that as long as we are in this material world, we have to act. We cannot cease acting. Therefore, if actions are performed and the fruits are given to Krishna, then that is called Yukta Vairagya. Actually situated in renunciation, such activities clear the mirror of the mind, and as the actor gradually makes progress in spiritual realization, he becomes completely surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, at the end, he will become liberated. And this liberation is also specified. By this liberation, he does not become one with the Brahma Jyotir, but rather enters into the planet of the Supreme Lord. It is clearly mentioned here, Mam Uvaishyasi. He comes to me back home, back to Godhead. There are 5 different stages of liberation. And here it is specified that the devotee who has always lived his lifetime here under the direction of the Supreme Lord, as stated, has evolved to the point where he can, after quitting his body, go back to Godhead and engage directly in the association of the Supreme Lord. Anyone who has no interest but to dedicate his life to the service of the Lord is actually a sannyasi. Such a person always thinks of himself as an eternal servant, dependent on the supreme will of the Lord. As such, whatever he does it for the benefit of the Lord. Whatever action he performs is a service to the Lord. He does not give serious attention to the fruitive activities or prescribed duties mentioned in the Vedas. For ordinary persons, it is obligatory to execute the prescribed duties mentioned in the Vedas. But although a pure devotee who is completely engaged in the service of the Lord may sometimes appear to go against the prescribed Vedic duties, actually it is not so. It is said, therefore, by Vaishnava authorities that even the most intelligent person cannot understand the plans and activities of a pure devotee. The exact words are Tandra Vakya Kriya Mudra Vijneha Na Pujaya Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 23:39. A person who is thus always engaged in the service of the Lord, or is always thinking and planning how to serve the Lord, is to be considered completely liberated at present, and in the future his going back home, back to Godhead is guaranteed. He is above all materialistic criticism, just as Krishna is above all criticism. Hare Krishna.
Very good. Thank you. So we have done. So this verse, I'll end with this, that Krishna will describe in next verse, or this verse, that what will be the result when you offer without bhakti, or Jat Karoshi Jasnasi, that verse. How does it apply? When we act in that way, we will make rapid spiritual advancement. This verse is assuring. This is very nice. This is so nice. Whether we have bhakti or no bhakti, just do it for Krishna, that's all. So when we offer our activity in that way, our life to Krishna, Subha Subha Phaler Evam Subha Asubha Phala. We become free from auspicious and inauspicious result of our work. Moksha se, we become free. Karma bandhan, from bondage of karma, we become free. When we become free from the bondage of karma, then what? Sannyasa yoga juktatma. Such a person is engaged in sannyas yoga. So it is interesting. Sannyas means disconnection, renunciation, and yoga means connection. Now in the 6th chapter, if you remember, first and second verse, Anasrita karma phalam karjam karma kurtija. Sasannasicha yogicha nirgnana chakriya. This is one of the verse Krishna uses for sannyasi. That yoga is something, sannyasi is disconnection from matter, and yoga is connection to spirit. You think like this. Not necessarily sannyas, I mean every devotee, whether it's a Mataji or Prabhu, you all have to have a sannyas in that sense. Means you disconnect with the matter. Disconnect with the matter. How? By engaging in Krishna consciousness. And connect with spirit, Krishna. So Krishna is integrating the two words here. Sannyas yoga juktatma. Such a person who is offering all the work to me, such a person will become free from auspicious and inauspicious of the world. We can do two kinds of activity like punya and papa. Punya is better than papa definitely, but still both are material. Now imagine if we did punya such a way that you cannot go back home back to God and you have to spend in Vidyadhara planet for another 1,000,000 years. And then you have to come down. Well, that's not really a good thing. Because when you come down, believe me, there won't be Hare Krishna, Krishna consciousness here. So it will be miserable. So what is the end result? Are not only become free from karmic bondage, mukti is liberation, but vimukta is special liberation, ultimate liberation, the highest liberation. So what is the highest liberation? Leads to mam upaishyasi. You will attain me. That is the highest liberation. Very nice. This verse is very sweet. He says the highest liberation is actually him. So Krishna is saying this special liberation is you will return back to me. This is the gradual progression that will happen. I just heard that while he was reading, Srila Prabhupada quote the famous verse from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Yukta Vairagya, Anasaktasya Vishayan. This is another famous verse we must remember. 5 kinds of liberation, one goes to Lord. And interestingly, Prabhupada quote here that Taro Bhakya Kriya Mudra Vijnana Bhuja from Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's very interesting. The connection with the existing verse, Shubha Ashubha Phale Evam Moksha Se Karma Bandhanai. It's very interesting how Prabhupada collaborates. That the pure devotee are not bound by goodness and badness of the world. Pure devotee is bound by love for Krishna, because of which whatever he does is good for everyone. The emphasis of a devotee is not doing good, but it is on serving God. For that, sometime a devotee can do something which is not Vedic standard. Madhavendra Puri said, I cannot do my Sandha Bandhanam. I'm sure you read those verses also in the 2nd chapter. Madhavendra Puri's 2 verses in one of the purport, I remember. I cannot do my tarpan, pitri tarpan. I cannot do my various ritual. So somebody will say, Prabhu, you are Hare Krishna follower, but you don't do a lot of ritual things as a human supposed to be doing. But what was the answer of Madhavendra Puri? He says, simply I remember Krishna. That is enough for me. That's the conception we should feel. That only by thinking of Krishna, serving Krishna, enough. I don't need any other. Because if you become a devotee, even you do Pitri Tarpan for the forefathers' happiness, what that will benefit ultimately? They still be struggling. If you don't have a son who will be keep on caring. But if you become devotee, they will be liberated. That's the best thing you can do. So one becomes free from all material complication, whether they have positive or negative. Vimuktamam upaishyasi. So this is the ultimate goal, ultimate perfection of pure devotional service, that by pure devotional service, we become vimukta mam upaishyasi. We return back to Krishna. So what did you conclude today? You can conclude like this, I'm thinking. Spiritual discipline is the road to freedom, not a roadblock. Because many people believe that discipline is a roadblock to freedom. If they have to follow rules, they won't be free to enjoy. Isn't? We see that, or we reflect within us. But does all discipline block freedom? That's the question. Suppose a fish finds itself on the land, being thrown there by a wave. Sometimes it happens. If it claims to be free to go wherever it wants, I really want you to think. It will soon end up of what? Anybody can answer?
Will die.
Dead. Thank you. To actually move freely, it needs to return to the ocean as quickly as possible. So the discipline necessary to take the fastest path to the water is its road to freedom. We, you, me, we all are fish out of water, Prabhupada says many times. So what is Bhagavad Gita Krishna is doing to us? He's explaining that at our core, we are spiritual beings, soul. By our defining nature, we all want to be free, free to enjoy unending happiness. But in material existence, we just cannot enjoy endless pleasure. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, then again struggle for a whole day, the next day again. Then you may ask the question, why not? Because material pleasure comes primarily from contact of the senses with the sense objects. And the supply of enjoyable sense objects are always limited, as is the capacity of our senses to enjoy. How then can we relish enduring happiness? By raising our consciousness to the spiritual level. This is the key point. There we see our self-eternal soul can rejoice in an eternal bond of love with our eternal sweet lover, Krishna, our Lord. As he is unlimitedly attractive, he is like a boundless ocean of nectar. We can delight there forever in that nectar. In that nectar ocean, once we learn to love him. The process of Bhakti Yoga trains us to love him. What we are doing in Bhakti Shastri now, not to get the only certificate, well, I mean, that is good, but that's not our purpose. I hope not. None of your purpose is just to get the certificate, but to develop, train ourselves to love Krishna. It is like a straight path to the ocean. And 928, this verse, especially last verse, recommends that we focus on connecting lovingly with Krishna, irrespective of whether it feels good or bad. I think first day or second day I said, Bhakti does not sustain on mental emotion or tribulation. How does it sustain?
By conviction, Prabhuji.
Very good. Very good. I hope everybody remembers that. By conviction. How the conviction comes? From inner connection. You have to think of Krishna. You have to meditate on Krishna. Even your deity, just meditate. It's like a little statue. How it? Just do it. After a little while, you will start feeling difference. Because you have enemy within you. Mind does not want you to meditate. Because then mind loses his power to control you. Please remember this. Negativity will control you if you allow it to enter in your mind. It is not that the negativity will, how can it? No, you allowing it. You have a power to control it. No, I don't want to hear this. I don't want it. I want to focus on Krishna. So Bhagavad Gita, this verse recommends that we focus on connecting lovingly with Krishna, irrespective of whether we feel good or bad. By such disciplined Bhakti Yoga practice, each of us will be liberated and attain his personal abode to freely relish immortal love. Then the discipline of Bhakti Yoga is not a roadblock to freedom. It is the road to the supreme freedom. What did I say the last sentence? The discipline of bhakti yoga or sadhan is not a roadblock to freedom. It is the road to the supreme freedom. In material existence, why are we never free to enjoy endless pleasure? Think about it, what I mentioned. And then you will motivate yourself. Amongst us, you will see 1% is self-motivated. 99% needs motivation. But each of the member of Bhakti Shastri should become self-motivated. You investing so much time, so much study, why not take advantage of self-motivation idea that I want to do it. I want to please Krishna. And you beg Krishna, please accept me, my Lord. Please accept me. Allow me to serve you. I know I did not serve so many lives. I don't even have any feeling for you. Please, can you please accept me? I'm trying. Please help me. When you beg like this, Krishna will. So I end here. I just want to tell you what we are going to do tomorrow. The last section of the 9th chapter, Krishna talks about his glory, how he is the controller of material world. Then he moves on focusing on pure bhakti, pure devotional service. Then he talked about different people, how they understand him differently. What are the consequences of different kind of understandings? Then Krishna talks about primarily pure devotional service. That is what Krishna focuses in the section from 29 to 34 tomorrow. I hope everybody heard me well. I'll end here. It's already over. I'm sorry. I don't want to say it. I used to think like I have an enemy, like a time, but Krishna is the time. I don't want Krishna to be like we'll have a war between you and me. No, I don't want to be in war. I want to be in love, not war. Any reflection, few reflection, then we can end.
Prabhuji, I can say I have also one question, but I will say the reflection first.
Okay.
That is, Krishna says that you can offer me just fruit, leaf, and in the purport also, Prabhupada explains that he says that you can offer the vegetables and anything which is eatable, the non-veg item which is never accepted by Krishna should not be ever offered. And Krishna can accept through any of his senses. He can see, he can take the offering whenever it is done from the heart.
Very good.
Yeah,
Very
saying
good.
that,
Thank you.
Prabhuji, one question I had.
Hold on, Mata. Just 1 second. 1 second. Because question takes long time. I mean, I'm not ignoring you. Please forgive me. I just want to hear from some devotee that I don't hear. Shama Sharup Prabhu. Can you tell me what can you take from today's session that you will apply in your life? Or something, what are you going to apply?
Hare Krishna.
Oh, that's Mataji. I'm sorry. Yes, Mata. Shama Sharup.
Other than the learning part, what I'll take away is my personal relationship with Krishna. Means I'm inspired more to have personal relationship like what you explain in 9.25, 9.26, 27 and all. That we need to love Krishna and do whatever we want for his pleasure, not for what we like to do for Krishna.
Very good. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. You're going to apply this, yeah?
Yes, yes.
Wow. Wonderful. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Radhakanta Das, Radhakanta Prabhu, you have anything? I don't know who you are, but at least tell me something you heard today. It's a long time we spent, 2.5 hours. Radhakanta Prabhu, probably is not there. Okay. Mother Palika Pavani Devidasi.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Can you tell me what one key point that you taking in your heart from today's session?
Mainly, what I'm taking is like we should be more dedicated to Krishna, as you have given so many examples, like how we can be in devotion practically. Like, of course, there are rules and regulations, but still, like you have given few tips, like how you can offer mentally, and then still you keep on that mood that you are a devotee and you have to offer it to Lord and take it. So that is what I carry.
Wonderful. Thank you. That was wonderful. Very nice. Mother Apurva Shakti Devi Dasi, can you give me 1 or 2 points? I don't see her name anymore. Oh, yeah. Lila Govinda Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
To start with today's your meditation, like offering the prayers and offering flowers to the the Guru Parampara and the deities, that was very wonderful. The way you mentioned that our mind should be trained regularly, and it should be, so it's a nice practice meditation. Thank you for
wonderful. Thank you. That's wonderful. Thank you. You can do that. It's bona fide.
Yeah.
100% that meditation.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else would like to voluntarily? Otherwise, we'll just close.
Prabhu, one more point.
Yes, Mother Palika Pavan.
And Prabhu, one of like it's my favorite story that you have mentioned, that a devotee scratches on the Bhagavad Gita shloka and Lord actually says like Name Bhaktya Pranashyati, never my devotee never perishes. I take care of them. So that actually is always in my mood. So whenever I'm preaching to somebody, I just mention them, telling that no, keep faith in Lord. Lord will surely protect you. And I literally carry that mood in my heart wherever I go. That yeah, whatever happens, Krishna does it for me. So
Wonderful. That's wonderful. There's a Arjuna Acharya's pastime, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentioned. Very nice time.
Yes.
Very nice. Wonderful. You can meditate on that pastime, and while you are chanting, even if you think of that pastime, Krishna may reveal that. You never know. Do not ever underestimate any of the devotee in your life. Krishna may come as a neophyte bhakta just to test our devotion. We should respect all the Vaishnavis. Then we will be always in a safer situation and favorable by Krishna. Thank you.
thank you, Prabhu.
Mother Archana Bhakti Devi Dasi, yes.
Prabhuji, also how much reciprocation we experience from Krishna depends on how much we take him personally, how we approach him personally. To that extent, we experience Krishna. So we have to take that step first.
This is a very nice point. Thank you. Because I felt guilty many times. Because I only pray to Krishna when I need something. I cannot get things done, then I pray to Krishna. Reciprocation is not a need and supply. Reciprocation is a loving exchange. It's a normalcy. We live, we are human being, we have emotion. We can just talk to Krishna. Just, you go in front of the deity, start talking, and you'll be surprised. What happened to Loknath Goswami? He said, no, I don't have anything to, how am I going to take care? The deity started talking to him. And he was like, oh, deity says, well, I'm hungry. Nobody fed me for a long time. Can you cook something? And then he felt so joyful. Also felt guilty. My God, I thought deity doesn't talk like that. Then he started cooking. And after feeding him, Krishna says, Long time, nobody gave me a little massage. Can you give me a little massage? Small deity, talking to him, give me some massage. Then he give you a little nice massage, nice bed, all these things. So Krishna reciprocate. Krishna do reciprocate. It's not just the story in Mahaprabhu's devotees associate. It is happening now. You know, Jananivas Prabhu, he's still in Mayapur, alive. British body, white British body. I remember him very well. We used to have lunch for years in Mayapur. He was painting Jagannath. Recent story. He was painting Jagannath, but he didn't finish. There was some Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj's, some group was doing something, and he went there to take prasadam and talk to them. But then he forgot to finish the face painting of Jagannath. Then what happened? At night, Baladev came and gave him a slap. Said, don't ever do this to my brother. Wow, I wish I would get a slap from Balaram. You know, it's a good pastimes of Pundarik Bidanidhi who gets slapped. But I'm talking about in our lifetime, right now, somebody, devotee that we know personally, got a slap from Balaram. In the morning when they came, they saw him, he didn't wake up. And he didn't wake up, and they searched for him. And then they went to bedroom. His bed is like about 1.5 feet from the ground. It's not very high. It's very low bed. But he was on the floor, bleeding, you know, scratches here, there. I was like, wow. And then a little later mentioned that actually what happened to him, that Balaram actually came and slapped him. He said, do not ever leave my brother unfinished. So you think that Jagannath deity was made of wood or is a person? Think again. Nama Vigraha Sarup Tina Ekarup Tine Bhed Nahi Tin Chidananda Rup. This is Mahaprabhu says, this is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Nama Vigraha Sarup. These three things. Holy name, deity, and the Lord Sarup, origin, all one. Never separate. When you're chanting, you are actually associating with Krishna. Now you may say, well, Prabhu, when I chant, how come I don't feel it that his presence? It is not that he is not present. He is present in holy name. But our consciousness is not pure, is not connecting. So the whole process is right now, we are trying to purify our consciousness. Just like I mentioned to you, the sun is up. But if I have the blind down, sun is very powerful. You know, it says that one scientist friend told me that even little spark of the sun comes to the earth, the whole earth will burn into ashes. That powerful. So sun is very powerful. But in my dark room, I put the blind down. Does not matter how powerful the sun is, I will not get sunlight. It is me have to get up and open the blind, then sunlight will come. So it is us, it is not Krishna. Krishna is ready to reciprocate. It is us. Our thinking, willing, feeling is not pure enough to connect him. So that's why it's taking that long. It depends on each of us. Thank you, Mata. That was very nice. Reciprocation. Wonderful. So we can end here today. Yes?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can I share a quick reflection?
Yes, Mother.
Prabhuji, in 9.27, especially two things, and this is just quick things. 9.27, where Krishna says, whatever you do, just offer to me. So I remembered when you were saying, whatever you do, then these questions I had heard from other devotees also, where, like, you know, I mean, when I'm doing my office work, how can I offer that to Krishna? That question came, that then I remember one answer, and which reminded when you were explaining us, like, you know, even after, just before sending an email or whatever you do, say Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. It gives immense satisfaction that you're not forgetting Krishna in every step of your day-to-day activities. It takes time. Sometimes we don't remember, but that practice is helping us. And here Krishna is telling that whatever you do, that's it, period. There's nothing like morning, evening, whatever action. That's a very great
relief.
message, Prabhuji. I could
Yes.
just immediately.
Wonderful,
yes,
wonderful
Prabhuji.
meditation. That's wonderful. Krishna is so lovable, isn't it? Whether you have bhakti or no bhakti, just come. He said, just do it. Very nice. Thank you. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
I'm here
Yes,
for
Mother
you.
Nikunja Leela Devidasi. Yes.
Yes. Prabhuji, very first of all, like, thank you for the wonderful invocation in beginning of the today's class. It was very wonderful, and I learned from this class so many things, but I want to mention two things which I love very much. Like, negativity will always try to control us, but we have to be in our consciousness, or we should have that much of power to stop it through our devotional activities habits. And second one is the quality of devotion reciprocates accordingly by Krishna as pure devotees. Krishna reciprocate to pure devotees in a different way, and to other devotees like neophyte and Kanishta Adhikari or Madhyam Adhikari. So accordingly, so the quality of the devotion should be very pure, from our side, and accordingly we will receive it from Krishna.
Very good.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Very
Hare
good.
Krishna.
The both are very good point. Negativity will control me if I allow it to enter in the mind. You have to be very specific. How negativity enter, where? In the mind. That controlling power is up to us, not anybody else. If we don't want to hear offensive, somebody talking, criticizing about another devotee, whether it's true or not, but if we don't want to hear, we can close our ear perception. Ear is still open, but the perception can be closed by myself. I can be in the temple and talking nonsense. Actually, I saw even one of our senior devotee one time criticizing so much in 1999, made even other senior devotee leave the temple. That was one of the history one time in my life. And I saw within 3 months that senior devotee actually fell down. So we learned enough that how to discipline and control our bhakti path. That Krishna will not do for you. Krishna will never do for you. You have to do. Krishna will help you if you ask Krishna's help. Krishna did not say, Arjuna, you don't have to fight, I'll fight for you. No. Arjuna has to fight, but Arjuna needs help. In Jayadratha's case, I mentioned other day, the sun is almost finished. When Krishna says, how can you take such a vow? That either you will kill Jayadratha before sunset, or you will enter into fire. What did Arjuna reply? So sweet. This is what Krishna wants. This is what Krishna wanted from Arjuna, and he wants from each of us. Arjuna says, you know my power, no power. But I know your power, unlimited power. Together, we can win. Krishna loved it. This is Krishna wants. It's like a friendship. We know our power, we don't have power. But Krishna has unlimited power. If I'm serving under him, with him, then together we can win. Did Krishna kill Jayadratha or Arjuna? Arjuna. But how? Krishna's empowerment, Krishna's setup. This is what Krishna wants us. Every day we should reciprocate, whatever it is, struggle or happy life. Thank you so much. You all are wonderful devotees.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Ram Sam Prabhu. I thought just now we're going to close, but Ram Sam Prabhu probably feeling sad that he didn't even say anything. Go ahead, Prabhu.
it was really wonderful. Today, so much of contents, like so all realizables, all full of content. I noted one thing which was very hearted to me, so I took to the heart, and that I can share, like Ananias Kintayantomam, the story you told for the Krishna and Balaram. Like in the childhood, we were playing so much and fighting with the brother, sister, and everything. So like that, the same reflection was going kind of, Krishna is cheating Balaram, and Balaram is saying there that you are cheating. How can you cheat? So how can they, so they are fighting. So they are fighting, and so the conclusion is like that. I mean, we can remember, I can remember my past time. I can correlate with the Krishna, like, Krishna and Balaram are doing like this, and this story going like this. Krishna is going to the mother, Balaram is going to the mother, complaining that Krishna is saying like this, Krishna is doing like this, Krishna is doing. So Krishna and Krishna. So Ananias Kintayanto Ma. So all the past time we can remember, like whatever we did. So similar to that, like Krishna and Balaram, they are doing their pastimes are transcendental. So I cannot say my pastime is like that, but to remember, I can make it easy myself that yes, like yeah. So Krishna would be doing like this in the Vrindavan, and he was playing with the dirt. He was eating the dirt sometime, like, and those all pastime happened that we see. So that was very beautiful, like 922, Ananias Chintayanto Mam Jana Paryupasate. So always to remember Krishna, and then Krishna, as Krishna, like given guaranteed, like what you have, that I will make guarantee that it will remain with you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you. You all are wonderful devotee. So we'll end here. Please accept my humble obeisances to all of you, lotus feet, and please pray for me also, so I can also progress, and I also pray for you all. Vancha kalpa
kalpatarubhyasya kripa
sindhuvaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Anantakoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Iskon Guru Vrinda ki